Here's our week 14 homework tutorial video. The first one here, le temps, is pretty easy. You are just kind of choosing the equivalent of what you're given here to the vocabulary word. So 60 minutes, as you would look through here and kind of practice with your words. Then you would see that, you would just select une heure. So that would be, and it just kind of goes the same, 60 secondes, on and on. Then the connaître ou savoir, the first section you're going to be just practicing the conjugation of connaître. You can refer to your slides, lesson slides, or wordreference.com. The next section on this particular one is deciding, is it savoir or connaître, and then conjugating each appropriately. Remember that connaître is used with being acquainted with or familiar with, people or things, where savoir is cannot be used with nouns that refer to people or places. And then savoir, an infinitive of a verb, is to know how to do something. So whatever is a fact would be savoir, but whatever is, if you could easily swap, familiar with or acquainted with, then it would be connaître. And those are present tense. Finally, we've got passé composé ou imparfait. The first section, it's choosing, you're only filling in the verb, deciding, these are just individual sentences that aren't necessarily related to each other. So an easy way to remember, I know I gave you kind of an exhaustive, all the information in class, but kind of an easy way to remember is this, could this, whatever the action is being described, is it a one-time event that could have, started, and obviously passé composé has started and ended in the past, but is it the main event, an event that happened, or is it describing, weather, the time, background? If it's more what was going on at the time, then it would be imparfait. And then, okay, forgot the do not disturb. Okay, yes, so, and then from there, then if it is passé composé, then you would use the correct helping verb, whether avoir ou être, and the past participle, and then also remembering that if it is être, if it's one of those coming or going verbs or reflexive verbs, then does it need to agree? Does the past participle need to agree with the subject? And it would with être, except if there's a different direct object. So there are a couple of steps to go through in this to decide which is which. And you would do the same thing in the next section, except this is a whole story, just divided up to make it easier to input the correct answers. So you could look at it and say, is this sentence as part of the story description? Is it background? Is it kind of setting the scene? Or is it a specific action? You can have just one or the other. In a lot of cases, we talked about there was imparfait going on and then passé composé action, sorry. You can have two events in the past that happened. So the verbs would just both be passé composé. You could also have, the only, if it was just one or even two verbs, usually if it's just setting the scene and stuff, it would be imparfait. You do have your lesson slides, and I will be posting several videos that kind of go over with each of the major topics that we talked about over the last several weeks with this unit. But just as kind of a little help to you, if you go to wordreference.com, type in, let's say arriver, and you could choose it from the list. If you go to this conjugaison, French conjugation, they will give you more than you need right now, but you've got the present tense conjugation, you've got the imparfait. This is just a help because it would be good for you to remember, okay, we take the new form in the present tense, take the stem of that, and then add our endings, AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT, and that's how we would form the parfait. Or, and again, ignore all the other forms, or you have the passé composé, and this is sort of your hint to, or it helps to remind you, okay, this one, arriver, uses être, so here's our helping verbs, and then this is also just the reminder of how to form the past participle, adding the feminine. In this case, all of these are singular, so it's just adding the E, and you may need the E, you definitely need the S for the plural. So it's just a little help that you can refer to if you need to. And then as you are learning it and want to, just kind of using that tool for helping you. Okay, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me.